Snow is falling on the city street, a quiet hush, a frozen beat. December air is sharp and cold, a story waiting to be told. We gather round a fading light, seeking truth to make things right. From every mountain, every shore, we're knocking on justice's door. Oh, we the people hear the call, let freedom ring, stand tall. The sweetest night, our voices raise for justice in these coming days. Let truth like a river flow. Some promises were left to break, for every dreamer wide awake. But in the cold a fire burns, a lesson that the heart burns. Only the people hear the call, every overtaken place stands now in this race for justice and the echo. From every valley, every door, we're asking, what are we fighting for? Only the people hear the call, every overtaken place stands now in this race for justice and the flow. For the silenced and the lost, we remember the cost. For the future we must build a promise to be fulfilled. Seeking justice, let truth flow. We the people, let it snow, let justice grow.
Check, audio check. Sounds good to me. Hello, every single one of you. I am so sorry for the delay. I had company that dropped by unannounced. It's always good, but life is crazy and busy these days. Hopefully, every single one of you is enjoying family. If not, I am telling you, it is going to be exciting. So let me do this. Let me welcome every single one of you. I know there's a lot going on in the community. I know there's a lot I shared. Take it or leave it. The riddles in Idaho. I should call this part one because there will need to be a part two. And we talked about a little bit about this yesterday. And I will continue talking about this because it makes sense. We have not been given any clues other than what they've given us that lead to absolutely nothing. So, was this a horrible atrocity used to push political and religious barriers? It's not uncommon for these types of things to be pushed on social media. Welcome every single person. If you don't believe me, that's okay. If you believe me, that's great. I'm going to give you enough information to decide for yourself what you should believe. Doesn't matter what I say. You're going to close your app. You're going to close this video at the end of the day, and it's going to put some food for thought in your head. So welcome to Phoenix Talks. I'm Phoenix. We rise above all the assumptions, all the rumors. We look for logic. We stay curious. We ask the questions. We ask the right questions, and we question the unthinkable. Exactly what I'm doing here today. And we do things with open minds here. That's the way we think. Every question matters. Every angle is welcome. Nothing is off limits, but if you're trolling, keep scrolling. The best trolls are quiet. This is Phoenix Talks, where curiosity sparks the fire. Welcome in. Welcome in, Dina. Good to see you, Caleb. Thanks, honey. Donna Rosa, Rebecca, welcome in. Becca, Amanda B, welcome in. Brenda, Patty, Halo Art. I am so happy to see every single one of you today. Hey, Jackie, welcome in. JC Tank, welcome in. Hey, Patty, if I didn't say hey, Patty. It's been wild. So do me a favor. If you are here and you're listening, hit that thumbs up button. Just do it. Do it for the cause, because I'm getting ready to do some call to action. You know, I was thinking yesterday about the stream, and today is the day before Christmas Eve. And I just want to really hone it down and wish you all a very Merry Christmas. And one thing I want to say is, you know, life doesn't have to be a riddle. It doesn't really have to be. And whoever's playing this on the American people, shame on them. Shame on them for taking a horrible atrocity and making it about something else. Unless it was planned this way from the beginning. What do I mean? Well, I'm going to give you some food for thought, like I said. And then you can do with what you want with it. But it's not beyond what I've seen in this footage from the IDAHO4. See, y'all, the Greek life follows a code, just like the military follows a code. Okay? They follow guidelines, they follow codes, their leaders tell them what to do. It's like a cult. I'm just going to call it like I see it. It's like a freaking cult. Now, I'm not talking, you know, Bible. I'm not talking political. I'm talking spiritual. We are living in a spiritual battlefield today. And what's the topic? Riddles. Riddle me this. The only time that I have ever seen anything this wild is there was an agenda to push. A serious agenda. Now, we're not here offering, you know, any defamatory commentary, I should say. And we're not here to play niceties, because I'll tell you, they're not playing niceties on our mental health status. See, because in spirituality, it's either do or don't. And this might not be the stream for you, because we're really thinking with open minds here today. But when I get to start showing you some of the things that people have been questioning and saying, that some people are like, you're crazy, get out of here, it starts to make sense. Now, I don't listen to very many other creators, but I had to go back on Nunez body cam and see what Dylan had on her arm. This was not AI generated. This was actually in the footage. And I don't know when she wrote this on her arm, but when they first arrive on scene of the crime, like I said, it is not on her arm. Folks, there's other body cam footages. When Nunez arrives, it is not on the arm of Dylan. When she is talking and telling Jack DeCoeur, oh my God, I saw him. I saw him. And then she goes back in later interviews saying, no, I don't think I saw him. I don't really remember. So what kind of game is being played? Let me tell you, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll ask you, 10 being the high, craziest stuff you've ever seen. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, have we been played? Drop your comment below. Drop it. Drop it like it's hot, because we're going to be dropping some fireballs today. Believe me, you're going to want to know this. Why? It's important. All right, I'm going to throw this up here, and we're going to watch. Things like this are very important. See, if we were so busy in our lives, look at all those 10s coming through. You guys are starting to wake up. Finally. finally, thank God, we're getting answers. See, because everything had to play out before we got an answer. We're over here trying to piece it together when they are light year steps ahead of us. Light years, people. Okay? Here's the finally answer. When you see Nunez walks up and he says, okay, where is she? Where is she? You know, I want you to take a look who's standing around already. I'm going to throw this up here for you. And then we'll get into it.
Oh shit. Yep. Oh shit. Oh shit.
On to the left, we already have Emily in place. And then on to the right, there's a couple of other people that are standing around that we don't know who these people are, but I believe we have an idea. We know who Dylan is. And then I believe Josie is standing by him. And this may or may not be Lyndon Beck in the blue sweatshirt. All right? That, don't quote me on this. I'm speculating. Okay? Speculation only right now. Dylan is showing and pointing with her arm. They're asking, where is Anna? Where is she? They have blocked out her entire arm. Now, I'm going to go, I don't know if I can do this because this thing is like really, it's hard to make it larger for you to see.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah. Oh shit.
We don't have one. They're on the phone. She's on the phone. And she says, we don't have one. That's the defibrillator. They blurred out her whole arm. And look, there's nothing there. Why did they blur out nothing? There's nothing on her arm.
Yes.
But then later on in the body cam, this appears. And at first I was like, what the heck is this? And then it hit me. Gideon was here. What? Who is Gideon? Was that somebody with the initials GM? Who the heck is Gideon? Then I went down the massive, nasty rabbit hole, folks. And I got educated and schooled in a heartbeat. I mean, I thought maybe they were referring to someone. I thought it was Gunderson. But no, it says Gideon was here. Anybody ever question what that is? It's kind of like Kilroy was here, right? I can't make this stuff up, folks. Can't make it up. So why was this house targeted? Because that's what they said. They said it was a crime of passion and targeted. Was it true? Or was it just something they made up? What do you think? Do you guys think it was true? Or was it made up? I want to get the feel of what you feel today. I thought it was Gunderson. A lot of people thought it was Gunderson. Well, what's Gideon mean? Well, Greek life book, they follow Gideon. The life book created by the Gideons International is a Greek life book that follows the Gideons' mission to distribute God's word to every high school student in America. It is designed for high school students and is distributed by student missionaries. The life book contains the short recap of the Old Testament, the entire Gospel of John, scriptural answers to issues teens face, and the opportunity to trust Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior. And it goes on to talk about the book of life is free to the U.S. churches and a valuable tool. Well, don't get me wrong, folks. I was raised Roman Catholic. I went to Catholic school almost my entire life until I got to ninth grade, and I decided I wanted to see what public school was like. And I did. My brothers went to private schools after grade school, elementary. But I will say this opened my eyes to what Dylan was a part of. She was part of a community that believed in the Greek life system. And I believe, in my humble opinion, she was rewarded for her role in this atrocity, in this story, in this riddle, in this puzzle. And this is why this has gone on so long. No one's figured it out. Everyone's pointing at other people. Everyone's pointing at people who have, died because dead people can't speak on these secrets. Think about it. They can't keep a secret if they're both dead. But how did Brian Koberger get entangled in this? Well, wasn't he very religious? They made it very clear in the ISP documents that he wasn't interested in the girl who was married, and then she turned on him. Essentially, I am paraphrasing here. And so happens to be that he is very, very religious. The Gideon used to be able to have their Bible put in every hotel room door. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a really good observation. See, we have more intuitive people here than I have never seen before in my life following this case. But there's a lot of people that have been planted, in my humble opinion. I'm glad I still have the freedom of speech to speak how I feel and what I believe and I know and I see and I hear, taken with logic. Then you'll start to see this bigger riddle. In the old days, I'm 300 years old, right? In the old days, they used to put everything in the scribe or in the riddle. But I'm going to show you some things that I found in and around the area of Moscow inside their own University of Idaho in 1979. I never finished the story. I never finished the ISP document 77. And one of the things in going over this again, you start to see where it had been set up. Gem of the Mountains, University of Idaho, Moscow, Idaho, volume 77. And this was in 1979. Anybody know what happened in 1979 in Moscow, Idaho? See, they have this saying that history repeats itself. I don't know who they are, but there was a lot of things happening in Idaho. Absolutely. Now, when you start looking at some of these things that had happened in Idaho, this reminds me, and I don't mean just this area, but in Idaho, period. There was a story that my husband used to talk about. He was born somewhere else, raised in Idaho since the age of 3 till, 50 something. And there was a lot of abductions of children, of teenagers. There's some famous stories that have come out of this area in this town. that is wild. Abducted, murdered, missing. There was one in 1979, Gayla Christine Shaper. And, you know, obviously there's a lot of stories that came out that way. And, okay, so let me ask you, I know this, there is someone, when you see something like this, why would she put that on her arm? Why do you think that Dylan would put Gideon was here? Who was the message being sent for? Don't you think that's just a little odd why she would write that on her arm? Gideon was here. What, don't you think that's just a little odd? It's a tag as in ownership. Interesting. That's very interesting. What kind of ownership? Proof? Proof of what? Proof. And did you know she didn't write it on her arm? Someone else did. Who wrote it? I know he's a part of the Idaho Police Association, which is a nonprofit organization. He's in control. The hanging shoes on the power lines in front of 1122 house. It's probably somebody else. Seems like a cult message. She didn't write it. Somebody else did. These are interesting thoughts. Interesting. Maybe Gideon wrote it. Maybe. That's interesting. Wow. There's a lot of background. Yeah, there was 5 to 7 hanging from jacks. Yep. Which is really odd. Wow. Could it be blood? I don't know. That's a crazy thought, though. The International Gideon office is in Coeur d'Alene. Yep. Gideon's International is also in Spokane. There is an office in Coeur d'Alene. There absolutely is an office there. Gideon's International, right here in the middle. Yep, there is one there. It's listed in Yelp. They have a website. It exists, folks. You can actually contact them. Let's connect. The Gideon's International. The driver said he tried to avoid shoes in the road. Absolutely. Were any of these shoes hanging on those power lines any of the IDAHO4? There is an Officer Gideon in these reports. There is. There absolutely is. Sydney NC 1032 says yes. Yes, what, Sydney? Those were maybe Ethan or Xana's shoes on the power line. I've always thought that when that kid gave us a tour on social media. I always thought that possible one pair or 2 pairs or 3 or 4 were theirs. And it was weird that Gower did say that there was maybe Dylan's. Oh, that's a good thought, Valerie. Could be. Out of speculation. that there is a Gideon's International right in Coeur d'Alene, which I just thought that was odd. But when you start seeing the people that are connected in Moscow and why Kaylee's dad wanted Idaho on the map. What did he mean by Idaho on the map? Watching the first body cam footage again, I noticed them only in the front of those houses. Absolutely. Remember, there was a guy that we came across that befriended a lot of us creators on the TikTok, and he did a walkthrough. But remember, what I'm about to say is all alleged, right? Default user gave us shared on the TikTok, and it was kind of scary, folks. Walking around showing us all the shoes that were hanging. Yeah, that was kind of scary. And I always wondered whose shoes those were. There was a ton of shoes all around. And usually when you see shoes on a wire like that, why would they even be all up there? And I'm not saying they're connected. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just telling you all the weird things and the riddles that have been put in this case since day one. Think about the riddle. Think about this riddle. When you start thinking really hard about these riddles that they've given us, it's wild, right? Beyond wild. The riddle of Murphy not having an ounce of blood on him. No evidence. Okay? That's one of those riddles, right? And when I start looking at some of the riddles that we've talked about and going back, all the social media clues that have been there for us, think about everything that the creators have been talking about. All this countertop. What in the world? I mean, look at all the things that we have talked about in this case. Nothing in his car. Who was this guy driving? It was nothing. You start looking at this. The house was going to tell a story. They knocked it down. Nothing. Right? Absolutely nothing. They were pranks. Those kids like to prank each other. This doesn't look like a prank to me unless all of this is fake. Was this some fake thing that they put out? Could be. Could be. They destroyed all that evidence. All that evidence. And then we have people like this. She knew.
Burger is innocent. I told you Koberger was innocent. Shout out to Jacqueline Braun, my homegirl. And Granny, you're going to get to hear me.
I mean, you think about everything that we've been talking about in this case. Doesn't make sense. No gloves, Gunderson.
Let's watch.
I mean, I look back at some of these, all these books, all these clues. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. I mean, when you look at all the crazy stuff they had us believing, and then one day you wake up and you realize, holy crap. They must have hoodwinked us all the way to thinking Koberger had a wife, right? She's going to marry him. The car was green. Here she is at the lake. Yessie, what was her name? Yessie R. Where did she go? Right? She was in Idaho. Bethany went to Idaho. I mean, the more I think about how crazy this case is, it is truly bananas. Hitler in the urns and all the money. Some days I just can't. Gower. The four brothers thing that they had us believing for a long time. The DNA, right? I mean, if you guys start thinking about it, this is wild. This is wild. If this is truly about this and not what you think it is, look at all the metaphors. Gideon, Gideon's International. It's kind of like double play, double speak, right? When you start thinking about it. So there's an older man who went to the grub truck. And who was that? Who was that? I wonder. Take our attention off the real information. So, what's the distraction? This is so important. What's the distraction? What is it? I'm wondering what the distraction they didn't want us to focus on at the time was. What was happening other than the end of the vid in 2022? Supposed to be a film director. Someone said his name. Is that the guy that we talked about on a couple of videos a while back? I don't know. Maybe. That young kid that flew in. There it is. For them to be in control of the narrative, not for us to ask any questions. Just to go with it. And there are people being out there as creators being paid to their narrative. I'm going to mute this, but let's unmute because I can't stand the slow. And I'm going to speed this up just a little bit, but you're going to catch some things here. Now, does anybody know who's in the peach color? And then who this person is? They had all these people here, all around. Three dumpsters, possible evidence. Josie and her male friends. Yeah, I thought that was Lyndon Beck. Comes back, starts taping off. Two more people walk up to the crime scene. I don't know what they were saying. Just feels scripted to me. Absolutely. See, there's some people who aren't in on this. They don't know. Yeah, he was there at, yeah, Lyndon Beck. And you start seeing these black things. Do you guys see this when you play slow motion? I kept saying, was that a bullet hole? Did somebody see this? I'll give you a close-up view. Hold on. I thought it was too round and a perfect hole. Bethany got out of the car. Yeah, she did. I don't think they were there at all. Yeah, I don't think so. Look at that. Looks like a perfect hole. I don't know why a hole would be there, but they start investigating and taking pictures of this area very closely. There's so much in this case that doesn't make sense. And for those of us out there looking for truth because they're not sharing it, That's what our minds do. Inquisitive, because we want to know. I think we're getting answers daily. We're starting to see right through the BS. 100%. More people are starting to look. Exactly. Bethany's room was trash. There's no way they spent the night in that room. There's no way, in my humble opinion. None. Trying to clear the house. They were really nonchalant about clearing the house. Sticker on the wall. Don't know what that sticker was, but we covered that on another stream. I know someone said something about the hat that was hanging up. It was someone else's hat. DNA everywhere. And why has the Moscow Police Department not been indicted? Why are they not under investigation? Riddle me that. Riddle me that. So obviously he goes back out and starts to question. Nothing on her arm. Doesn't look like it's blurred or redacted. So when was this written on her arm? What's the answer to that riddle? Nope, she's not out front yet. Those two girls that walked up to the house are off to the right. Possible. Very possible. She's telling the story. I saw him. I saw him. And then she gets into, I didn't see anything. I don't even remember his eyebrow. Maybe he had one. Maybe I saw part of his nose. No, I saw him. I saw him. What did you see? Now, it's there. So how possible is that, guys? She starts walking away and then you see it. Watch. I'm going to slow it down. Here we go. You can see it exposed just a little bit. So when did someone write this on her arm? When? It's redacted out. As she starts to walk, it's there. Telling the story. Here she comes. Something's on her arm. They've tried to redact it. So when did it get on her arm? Was it always there? When did it get on her arm? Because this is what it actually, that's where it's located. It's right there on her arm. How in the world did this happen? Who's played with us all these years? It's on her. It's on her arm. Definitely on her arm. So if anybody has the answer to this riddle, drop it below. This is going to be a short stream. I love you all. Have a great Merry New Year, Christmas Eve, and a Merry Christmas. And hopefully we'll get some more answers. I don't even know why Dylan didn't even have shoes on and everyone else did. Whose shoes were up on that wire? I'll find the video and I'll share it. You know I always do. Everyone, definitely think about what we've been put through. Is it fair to use psychological warfare on the American people? Drop your thoughts below. I think it's coward. I think it's being cowardly for them to do this to the American public. Just my humble opinion. Merry Christmas. Be well, everyone.
Snow is falling on the city street, a quiet hush, a frozen beat. December air is sharp and cold, a story waiting to be told. We gather round the fading light, seeking truth to make things right. Every shore, we're knocking on justice's door. Oh, we the people hear the call, let freedom ring, stand tall. Sweet as night, our voices raise for justice in these coming days. Let truth like a river flow. For every dreamer wide awake, but in the cold of fire burns a lesson that the heart learns. From every valley, every door, we're asking, what are we fighting for? Only the people hear the call every ring. For the silence and the loss, we remember the cost. For the future we must build a promise to be fulfilled.